the rekindling. Welcome to the experience. Thank you. Brother Chief, did you have a prayer or a blessing to offer?
Yes. I'm just going to call upon all of our ancestors, every viewer, every participant in this webinar. I'd like to call upon each and every one of our ancestors to come forward and to give us strength in this cause, which is the healing of ourselves in this earth. And I'll be saying it in Māori. Here goes. Ka karanga, ka karanga, ka karanga atua. Ka karanga atua ki ngā tini tūpuna. Nau mai haramai. Tau toko mai te kaupapa nui, te kaupapa roa. Te kaupapa hira hira. Kia whakaora hau, kia whakaora ngā tangata, kia whakaora te whenua, kia whakaora te rangi. Nō reira, tūturu o whiti whakamaua tīna, haumi e hui e tai ki e.
Okay, be prepared if the stream cuts out, folks. As we go forward, we'll experiment with this. Oh, wait, Brother Paris, I meant to ask you. Do you really think madness can save the world?
So you're referring to the article that I wrote.
Because we really need some like, you know, Captain Planet champions.
Well, I think I mean, it's a big question. So how to answer it very succinctly. I think in many ways I just kind of what I just talked about is partial answer to that question. So what we call madness. Oftentimes we're referring to that kind of process of breaking down in the service of breaking through, which is more or less successful at different times for different people. But people who have actually had those experiences themselves, gone through that dark night of the soul journey, what we find is they often do have that, you know, that experience of breaking out of the consensus paradigm, because right now the current consensus paradigm is taking us off a cliff, and so being able to actually have the experience of stepping out of that, seeing alternative ways of being, having the experience of a more expanded self. These kinds of things often happen in these kinds of states. Also, as we understand that whole process of breaking down to break through that happens in these individuals who go through a madness process, that helps us have more insight into what needs to happen on a more collective level. You know, this collective breaking down in the service of ultimately breaking through.
Kaupapa, purpose.
That's right.
Common purpose.
And as the indigenous peoples have long known, there's great value in people who, for whatever reason, have that sensitivity to be able to have experiences outside of the consensus reality. Societies have a tendency to become kind of rigid and dogmatized over time. It's just something that often happens in societies. And individuals who have this more expansive alternative construct of the world are able to help society as a whole to not become so rigid and dogmatic and to continue to remain flexible, open-minded, open-hearted. So people who are prone to such madness experiences are often the same people that are often called shamans or visionaries or seers, who can hold that place at the table that helps the table from becoming too rigid and stuck in a potentially destructive path. So I'll leave it there. There's a lot more. You can, my own book, Rethinking Madness, I go into a whole lot more of this kind of stuff.
That's huge, though. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well done. Now you see why our campaign is so multi-spectrumed, because it does involve quite a lot, and we do represent in these altered states a great amount of capability, shall I say. You know, represent. The great planet ship, yo. Keep a walking on the cool side in paradise.